year did you graduate from Page High School?
I graduated in 2016. I felt very privileged to have been there and like had amazing teachers like Roxanne who did programs like this.
Tell us a little bit about that journey to your national win for Invest Right.
Going into her class, she was like, yeah, we're gonna play the stock market game. And I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. I'm interested in stocks. My family is very conservative in their stocks and in their investments. But I was like, oh, this is fascinating in a very low stakes way to practice and see what's out there. I was volunteering at our local food bank, and she calls me and she's like, Annmarie, you might want to step outside for a second. And so I stepped outside, and she had told me that I'd won, and I kind of forgot that we'd even done the contest because it had been such a long time. And she was like, yeah, you got third place. And I was like, oh wow, that's really awesome. And she's like, no, third place in the nation. And I was like, wait, not just Arizona. And she's like, no, the nation. And so I was freaking out because I was like, wait, seriously? And she was super excited. Then I don't know, I was still kind of worried when I got into college because I was at one of the lowest ranked schools in the state coming into a big university. I went to ASU, and I had friends who'd already worked in a lab before, and I was like, what's going on? This is crazy. I've never heard of people having these experiences, and I felt at such a loss and almost as if I didn't deserve to be there and I wasn't smart enough to be there. And so that became one of my goals of, I don't want people to go through that same experience of feeling, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough. I was invited by the president of the university, but he invited me to apply for Teach for America because there was a partnership with ASU. And I was like, oh, I really like what they stand for with educational equity and trying to reach educational equity, especially after the education that I'd gotten growing up. I was like, this is something I'm very passionate about. So through Teach for America, I was lucky enough to get placed with a school, and it is Empower College Prep. Okay. So it is a public charter school, and they are absolutely amazing. They are geared towards getting students into higher education. And so I've felt so lucky to be able to work with the team this year.
I'm sorry, I understand what inspired you, is this economic equity passion, right? Yeah. What are your hopes? What do you think is something that we need to do, like specific actions?
One of the things that I noticed a lot of is just having people that they can reach out to and look up to. Because I know going in, I was like, oh, I'll make connections with students, but I didn't realize how deep the connections that I'd make. And because of things that I said, I was able to inspire them.
But what I'm really, really impressed by is just your courage. Like, I was gonna reach out and contact this person. And I think that is something that really we want to teach all young adults.
Oh, absolutely. I tell them all the time that what I want for them is for them to be able to stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
I can give them all that I can, but they need to be able to ask for what they need and what they want. And so like teaching them those types of skills, it's like, you need to ask. If you just ask, a lot of stuff will be given to you.
What would you say was one of the most memorable parts of your first year teaching?
But something so memorable was the students just overcoming. I had a student who had been online for the first maybe quarter of the year.
Yeah.
And they were failing miserably. They had a 0. And they came in and I was like, dude, you can't be doing this anymore. You need to get it together. And it was very fortuitous that he ended up in a group where they worked really well together. They did really awesome on a project, and that brought his grade up, and it also started to pique his interest because I was like, yeah, you can make a 3D model of a cell. And they're like, really? We can make it out of clay and paint and styrofoam? And I was like, yeah, go for it. And they got super into it and super invested, and that really started to change his outlook. It was so great. And he went from failing to passing my class with one of the highest scores in the class.
And he'll remember that. Do you think that some of the students faced inequities just in even that hybrid approach?
One of the things I noticed the most is, Miss, I couldn't do it, or I couldn't hear you. I was taking care of my younger siblings. This whole COVID situation put them in a place where they needed to step up beyond just school. Going to a Title I school myself, it was definitely where my passions had lied. And being there, like, I had so many revolving door teachers where they'd be there for a year and then leave. And I didn't want to be that for my kids. And I told the school when I was hired that I wanted to be there for at least 4 years, because being a freshman teacher, wanted to see my first class graduate.